Hello, hello, my dear friends, you've reached Elena's Barre, the best place on the internet, the very best by far. She'll help improve your fitness, but there's also so much more, 'cause here are just a few things that this channel has in store. There's barre and there's Pilates and there's belly dancing too, and many styles of yoga, so I'm sure there's one for you. Then watch her practice pianist string from right within her home. She's in such big condition, she'll outrun the metronome. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre, the best place on the internet, the very best by far. It's not just the piano, but the ukulele too. The guitar and violin are even more that she can do. She does so many different things, it's hard not to lose track. I nearly didn't mention that she posts on her Substack. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre, the best place on the internet, the very best by far. Yet controversial topics may be brought up for discussion, but try not to provoke her or she'll swear at you in Russian. And sometimes certain topics can make quite a big impression, so remember you take part at your own risk and your discretion. Yeah, Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre, the best place on the internet, the very best by far. You might even meet Elena if you're quite a loyal fan. She's got a fixed male cat, but she's so desperate for a man. We've really got it all, then you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch Elena shave a 3 or 4. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre, the best place on the internet, the very best by far.
Hello, hello, my dear friends. Welcome back. Welcome to Elena's Barre and the resurgence of sanity. How are you doing, guys, today?
All right. How are you?
Good.
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Oh, we have a rainy day, looks like.
It's cool though.
Yeah. Well, it's getting cooler. Summer is technically over, right? Whew. Okay, guys, we are continuing today's conversation about nonverbal communication based on this wonderful book that I highly recommend you to read, What Everybody Says by Joe Navarro. And I just shared the presentation with Nick, so guys, we are looking through the slides. I did my best to summarize what was in the book. I really recommend you to read this book, guys, but we are going to cover quite a few things. I tried my best to summarize everything on the slides. So there are a few slides there with a lot of words. And
I have to warn the audience. So it was 2 weeks ago that we did the first one. Last week there wasn't a show. And Elena's had this prepared. She's been thinking about this. And so she's been suffering for about 2 weeks from verbal constipation. She's got all these words to use up. She wants to do. Now, brace yourselves. She's got a lot of words.
Yes, guys. So I apologize in advance for those of you who survived this, but feel free to share your experience and your observations with this body language and gestures that we will talk about, and tell us what you think about the topic. Remember to please like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel. So yeah, let's begin. Nick, could you please share the slide?
All right. I'll put it up there on the screen.
Awesome. Okay. So yeah, we are going to start where we finished off. We will talk about nonverbals of feet and legs. Remember that based on the limbic system, in terms of how it demonstrates the signs. This is the most honest part of the body. Okay, so you have to pay attention to the feet and to the legs of people. So what is a high confidence or happy feet tell? The feet and legs wiggle or bounce with joy, usually. You can notice it in lovers seeing each other after a long separation at the airport, for example. Or you can watch person's short or his shoulders kind of slightly bouncing up and down. Okay. And then an interesting sign here is when legs are crossed. Some would say that, well, this person is not confident, especially when they're talking to you. It's actually a sign of comfort. So when somebody is willing to lose their balance from the base position where hip width apart, usually when they cross their legs, or when they mimic you, like you stand also with the crossed legs, it means that you're very, very comfortable with each other. Okay. So if you notice that somebody approaches them that they don't know, or somebody calls their name that they're not sure, they will uncross their legs to have more stability. Okay. Then isopraxism is mirroring of behaviors between two individuals. This is a comfort sign. And then there are also gravity-defying behaviors. So when when we are happy or confident, we walk as if we are floating on air, slightly bouncing up and down, rocking up and down on the balls of the feet, like the happy walking. And there are over 40 different styles of walking, actually. So each person is going to walk differently. Okay, so you have to watch for that baseline behavior still. And Nico, could you scroll down a little bit, please?
Okay.
Yeah, feel free to stop if you have something to say about these things, guys. Okay. Then the heel of the foot remains down while toes are up. Okay, this is the gravity-defying behavior when, for example, you observe somebody talking on the phone, and without hearing what they say, you just watch their feet. And if the toes are raising up, it means that the person is able to hear something. Okay, so the feet will tell you. Yeah, and then pay attention to the starter's position, the baseline behavior before movement begins. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next one. See, we are going, there are a lot of words there, but we will go through them pretty quickly here. Okay, now the direction and movement of torso, legs, and feet. So in a social occasion, when you are greeting somebody or somebody is greeting you, the torso and feet should move along synchronically towards each other. Okay, this would be the genuine greeting. A person is happy to see you. When there is a fake greeting, feet will move away from you, but the torso will be facing towards you. Okay, there will be no synchrony in the upper body versus lower body. So this is something to pay attention to. And when there is one foot that is facing towards you, the other foot facing out, then it means that the person has to be somewhere, not necessarily because he or she doesn't like you or doesn't want to be with you, but because they are in a rush, in a hurry, they must leave. Okay, they must be somewhere else. So yeah, we turn our feet and torso towards what we like and away from the objects towards the nearest exit if we don't like something or someone. So pay attention to the feet, guys. It's not always visible because of the desk and other objects in front of you. This is why a lot of interrogations, they are done when there is no table, nothing, just a person sitting at the chair, and nothing prevents you from observing this person well. Okay, so you can see his feet, you can see her torso, her upper body, her face too. Okay, shifting foot behavior. When a person gradually shifts his or her feet away from you on one side, a person must have he or she no longer wants to be around you. So it's a distancing behavior. Yeah, a person must leave. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, this is what I said before. Okay, let's move on. Mm-hmm.
So, does this have anything to do with like when a man's kind of shifts in towards a woman, or he's straight, but the woman shifts away and not into him?
Yes, yes. You can actually observe all of these guys. All of this information can be applied to when you are analyzing other people's behavior in social gatherings. Like you watch a couple. We will get into it, Nick, in more depth about the tactile connection between a couple. So if a woman in general, if she is distancing herself from the man, she's not really into this man. She's not attracted to him. We will get into the signs of contempt and also disgust later. So it's a combined picture. You have to watch everything. Okay.
So Steve and I get to rethink what happened in our past relationships.
Exactly. See, it's not all that bad, guys. It's not that bad.
Hey, hold on. Thinking about that is all bad.
Well, yeah, true. But I mean that what we are doing today, guys, it might help you to evaluate what has happened to you before. So when you apply the visuals in front of you, like how your woman treated you before, how she behaved, all of these micro behaviors that we exhibit, they don't come from nowhere. Remember, it's our limbic system. It's the largest part of the brain, and all of these movements, they are reflexive. They are very natural, and we have to pay attention to them. We will talk about also how to detect some lies. It's not a guarantee, guys. Even he mentions it in his book. Even professionals struggle with detecting lies, and then they convict the people who were not innocent. And this is why when you talk to somebody, you have to make them as comfortable as you possibly can, so that they relax, and then they start projecting these like natural signs of, so no judgment, like when you talk to somebody and try to figure out what this person is about. Okay.
Before we go on any further, there's a lot of information here.
Okay.
If you're thinking about this, you're not really engaged in the interaction in front of you. A lot of this is unconscious perception, or maybe perception. And the reason they're exhibiting the behavior they're doing, like a woman, you talking to a woman and she leans away, that's unconscious. So it's helpful to learn this stuff, but then put it in your unconscious brain. And then when you have this perception that something's not going right, then you can go back and reference this information. Oh, this is what's going on. Or when you do that debrief in your mind after the interaction is over, think about, what was I perceiving? Something wasn't right. And then maybe you can start to reflect on some of this. Yeah. And then it comes to mind after the fact. But in the moment,
you probably won't. Yeah, because then it would be, if you're not trained to do, some people are trained to observe this. This is why it's a skill. Like he said previously, we talked about it. You have to practice situational awareness, what happens around you. You have to pay attention to all of these cues that people exhibit. And you know what? When I was reading about it years ago, I was struggling with some of that because I couldn't catch everything. And I'm not saying that I'm really great at it, but with time, you can apply it to yourself, and everything we talk about, you can pause, like feel free to move your body a little bit to see how it affects you. And then when you see it in other people, because some of these tales are universal, some of them are idiosyncratic, meaning that they are specific to each person, okay, like the pacifiers, the pacifying behavior. So feel free to move your body a little bit to feel it, and then you can better understand also what that other person that is exhibiting this same emotion or body language is going through. This might help you. But these are all good suggestions, Steve. It's not going to come naturally, especially if you have never done it, guys. It's going to take you some time, okay? But start paying attention. When you know what to look for, for these specific things, for these micro behaviors or macro behaviors in a human body, you will be more aware. Okay. So yeah, feet contain tremendous number of sensory receptors, the pathways of which terminate in an area of the brain that is close to the place in which sensations of the genitalia are registered. So this is why you see lovers doing footsies under the tables at the restaurant or in a public place, because our feet, they do have, according to the Chinese medicine, they have the nerve endings elsewhere in all of the organs have the nerve endings in the feet. So when you do the foot massage, it's going to impact your other organs in the body. Okay, so then a shoe play behavior. Oh, this is especially applies to women. You often see women playing with their shoes, like the shoe is hanging off her foot and she's like moving the foot around, so she's trying to draw attention. She signals to you, notice me. But then if she stops and then you pay attention to her, right, and you start approaching her, but then if she suddenly stops or turns away from you, her potential suitor struck out. So it didn't really work. Okay, and this is the orienting reflex. She does it subconsciously. She may not even realize that she's doing it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So she's twirling her shoe.
Mm-hmm.
And across the room, there's you and Chad.
Yes, exactly.
You approach her, she stops twirling her shoe. That's how you know you're not a person.
You're not it.
Chad.
Yeah, exactly. How my husband said, you're not people, right? You're not a person. She's doing it for Chad. She wants Chad's attention. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then crossed leg position. So here we have a couple sitting as an example. Okay, it's not a great example, guys. I was struggling with pictures for this one because there would be so many of them. Anyway, crossed leg position. I've seen people saying that it's just blocking behavior, but it depends. Like the angle of that leg above depends whether it's blocking you from the other person, like the knee sticking out and it prevents sort of the other person to see you, or it's facing that person. So if the foot is facing, okay, on good term, the crossed leg will point towards the other person. Okay, so if it's pointing towards the other person, if it doesn't block the body, then it's just a sign of comfort. And then if another person mimics that kind of behavior also, so you could have two people with crossed legs talking to each other, and there would be no problem there. Okay. But then if a person doesn't like the topic, he or she will switch the thigh, so it becomes a barrier, a blocking behavior. So the knee will stick out and the other person will see the knee instead of the body. Okay. Then nervous pacifier also could be applied. It's significant change in intensity of foot or leg movement. So it's like leg kicking response, so watch out for that. Honest and dishonest people will twitch and jiggle out of discomfort or nervousness. So it's not an automatic sign of deception, guys. Okay. It could be a reaction to negative stimuli, such as uncomfortable question asked. Watch from status position. Again, baseline behavior. Okay, where does it begin? Kicking is a subconscious way to combat the unpleasant. And watch for a sudden stop if wiggles or bounces are normal for that person. Okay, so if he usually bounces a little bit, right? This is why we determine the baseline, the starter position. Is he bouncing because he's comfortable? And then he suddenly freezes when you ask him a question. Then it's something to pay attention to, okay? Cool. Well, we have Tacticus and Fake Human here, guys. Great to see you. Tell us if you have any questions, okay? And share your observations. Okay, then sudden interlocking of legs may suggest discomfort or insecurity or freeze in the face of threat, okay? When people are comfortable, they tend to unlock their ankles. But then locking feet around the legs of chairs also is restraining freeze behavior. It demonstrates a lot of discomfort or insecurity, okay? Depending on the context, guys. Everything here depends on the context. Okay, let's move on. So now we have torso, hips, chest, and shoulders. Okay, can you zoom it in a little bit, Nico? I'm having trouble reading my own. It's a lot. Well, there are a lot of yeah, thank you. That's fine. Okay, now you can zoom out a little bit so that we can have it covered. Oh, cool. Okay, thank you. Yeah. This one contains vital organs, so this is why people will be very protective of their torso. It's also known as trunk, which include heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, digestive tract. The brain will diligently try to protect this area when threatened or challenged. Okay, so this is why when you see people not being comfortable, they kind of shrink, they collapse into their chest, right, around their shoulders. Could be total effect or something else going on, covering themselves, cross-armed position, okay, but also isolating themselves from something. So ventral exposure, just some terms here. When he calls it ventral fronting. When things are good, we expose our eyes, mouth, chest, breast, genitals, most vulnerable parts of the body towards people who make us feel good. So in dating, it applies everywhere, really, you know, in a business meeting, dating. So when you see a woman, she's open, right? She's exposing her prehes, then yeah, that's generally a good sign, right? She's interested. But then we offer our ventral side to those we favor and care for. And then the opposite of ventral exposure is ventral denial. It's a side move. So we are, closing ourselves. So when things go wrong, relationship changes, we disfavor, discuss topics, we engage in ventral denial by shifting or turning away. So you could turn to the side. We turn our body back to those we find. We turn our backs to those we find distasteful. Okay. So yeah, watch out for that one. Then people lean towards each other when there is high comfort and agreement. We lean away from things and people we don't like, even from colleagues when they say things we don't agree. So, and you can also analyze based on videos and pictures. It's going to take some time, guys, but if you train your eye, you will spot certain things. Like women post their husband pictures and kids and everything. Watch how they behave towards their husband. What I've seen a lot, they would put themselves in front on the pedestal, you know, and the husband will be somewhere in the back, irrelevant, okay? And these are your kind of like traditional women where the husband is doing something that, you know, he's just there praying for sure.
He's ancillary. He's in the background. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not.
I have an example of this body language. In my first marriage, you know, couples often have difficulty finding the time to talk or the time alone to talk. So often it would happen when you're driving in a car. So the discussions would happen, and, you know, these weren't the modern super quiet cars. So she'd be way across the car and she'd turn and kind of look at the passenger window and talk to me. I couldn't hear what she was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd say, well, what did you say? And then she would criticize me for being hard of hearing. So obviously, discussions never went well, and there was not a focus together. And, you know, if you're in a car, you have to realize that when you talk to somebody, you're going to have to point your voice towards them if you really want to be understood. Well, if in spite of that, they're talking away from you, husband and wife, or a wife is doing that to you, guys, it's a sign of bad things to come.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You have to face the person. If you respect the person, you're going to talk to that person. You'll be like, your body will show it too. So pay attention not just to what they say, because they say all of these socially acceptable things, but also their body language, their facial expression. It's hard to tell sometimes because they only show like half of the body, where we don't see their feet, we don't see their
right. Now,
legs.
if you're next to your wife in the car and she's talking to you, you can't observe her body.
Exactly.
But probably if you were able to observe her body, her knees would be pointed away from you.
Yeah.
She would be subtly shifted. Her whole body would be shifted away from you. So the body language is there. You may not be able to observe it because you're trying to pay attention to the road.
You are not paying attention to that. Yeah.
And then here's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
When you're trying to pay attention to her, you're not paying attention to your driving.
Exactly.
So then something happens that you weren't expecting, and then you have to make a correction, and then she'll criticize you for being a bad driver.
Yes. Situational awareness, guys. You have to kind of pay attention to everything that's happening. And look, it doesn't have to be long, okay? Sometimes like you just like gaze with your peripheral vision, you know, and then focus on what's in front of you. I started doing it. It just takes practice, guys. It gets better, you know, it gets better over time. So you just need to pay attention and practice it. Okay, then torso shield, it's sudden crossing of the arms during a conversation could indicate discomfort. Or a person is just blocking. He's not really hearing your ideas. So no matter what you say at that point, I find it honestly like when you are discussing something in particular, when people cross their arms, it's a little rude and disrespectful, but it could be also culturally related. Okay, so watch out for that behavior too.
Couldn't they just be cold? Couldn't they just be cold?
Well, Nick, like I said, it depends. It depends on the context. If they're shivering and like, yeah, if they came out from an accident and they are in shock, yeah, obviously that plays in effect hugely. Then, yeah, you have to keep that in mind. But if all of a sudden, if the change is really quick, they were fine, you know, everything seemed fine until you said something, and then they started doing this, then okay, this is why you have to watch the behavior in progression. Okay, in progression. So one thing is just not enough. You have to observe everything. And the more, do you remember we mentioned it last time, the more data you collect about them, the more information you know about them, the better your judgment is going to be. Oh, Tactical says it's self-hugging. Yeah, right. Well, I won't be surprised, you know. A lot of women do that. Oh, I love myself. Okay. Then chest shielding with different objects. Oh, I think one of you mentioned last time, like this book, you know, and you carry like that. So you cover yourself or water, you know, you cover your chest with some objects. So even your phone. Your phone could be a blocking object too. When you spend too much time on your phone instead of talking to people, you know. I'm wondering, like,
Okay.
women don't notice men. It's like, how much time do they spend on their phones like that, you know? Taking pictures and making reels on social media. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, watching TikTok and texting people and Facebook and Instagram and all of that while you're sitting next to your usually it's the woman doing this while the husband's sitting right next to her.
Yes.
But
So true, so true.
I lived that for many, many years.
Yeah, I try. Sometimes we bring our phones downstairs, but I don't look at it usually when we are eating. I want to talk to my husband. He sometimes checks something, when, yeah, but it's fine. It's okay. Let's scroll down a little bit. Okay, crossed arm position. Really at home. Only when something is bothering us, waiting for a late ride. Yeah, like this position, we only do it, like, pay attention when we do it. We rarely do it at home when we are by ourselves, but then in public, when we listen to a speaker, sure, it's actually pretty common. It just means that a person is not really engaging in what you are saying. Okay, they're kind of blocking, and then you have to watch the second behavior that they might exhibit, which would be something else, not that would lead, their hands would be like shifting torso away, could be that, then with hands tightly gripping the arms. Okay, this one I have to show you. So like that, okay, it's just kind of relaxed. But then when you are gripping your arms like that with your fingers, okay, definitely indicates discomfort, okay, because you're tensing your body. And then koto, it's the bend of the torso to show deference or respect in some cultures. So in Thailand, I know they do this, like they bow their head and they don't separate the elbows. They keep them in, okay? They tuck them in and they do this one. It's out of respect when they're meeting somebody. Yeah, for respect for the elderly.
Okay, in English, that's kowtow or kowtow.
Kowtow, yeah. Kowtow.
Yeah, okay.
Cool. Okay, then torso embellishments. Watch out for clothing, accessories. Also pay attention to preening. Okay, but I notice a lot, especially like in these videos where women show their husbands and family and everything, they preen themselves, like they check their hair, to make sure everything is fine. They remove the lint from their clothing, it could be all sorts of it's actually a sign of rudeness and disrespectfulness towards the person that you are talking to, or the person who is talking to you. This is also a pacifying behavior, okay, but it's kind of considered as rude, So grooming, cleaning, adjusting clothes, or like even a bow tie, sleeves.
But if you're talking to a woman and she's into you, and she starts stroking her neck or playing with her necklace, or kind of her upper chest area above her cleavage, she's drawing attention there, and it could be a sign she wants you to touch her there.
Oh, maybe
she's feeling sensual.
If she's you kind of have to also watch your torso. Like if she's leaning into you, then that's one thing. But if she's doing it just to get attention from Chad, somebody else, and she's ignoring you completely, like that could be, and you're trying to talk to her, and like she's still doing it, but she's doing it for another person,
Hey, Nick, when you're sitting at the bar having your evening meal, trying to ignore the women, and they keep coming on to you and talking to you, are they doing any of those kind of behaviors?
Oh yeah, they'll bite their lip, they'll adjust their neck, play with their necklace. Sometimes they'll do something with their hair. Oh, usually the hair. Yeah, that's a lot.
Oh, the hairs, very common.
And then they lean in. Yeah.
Yeah, well, leaning in is the big one. Yeah, leaning in. I would say that like watch your torso, because what they do, it could be also pacifying behavior, that they're doing it to calm themselves down.
But their body language is not closed. It's
eyes
turn and they lean. Yeah. So
pay attention to their torso, guys, because this is the major part. Because they can certainly do all of these behaviors, and you might think that, oh, that's enough, I'm going to approach her. But then if she's not leaning towards you with your body, then she could be projecting all of these behaviors towards somebody else. Somebody else could be her desired target. So yeah, pay attention to the torso for sure.
Best thing is just not to care.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, I know.
Hey,
yeah, but
they can give me all the wrong body language all day long, and I still won't care.
Yeah, I know, but it only
They
applies
could shove it up there, at,
it only applies to a very small number of men, like most
making
men.
me uncomfortable. Good.
Yeah, when we are uncomfortable.
Nick is like a cat toying with a mouse.
Yeah.
Doesn't care what the mouse thinks, but the mouse thinks it's fun, I guess.
Yeah. Her torso was tuned to Jesus. Sure, right? Jesus is perfect, huh? Yeah. Well, yeah, ladies, gentlemen, watch out for that. So if you are not your target, then no matter what you do, she's going to ignore you, and she will change her. Watch for her behavioral change also. If she turns away from you, if she stops playing with your food, with your shoes, preening herself and everything, then check that too. Okay, then torso splays. Torso splays are spreading out. It's a sign of comfort and territorial display. Have you ever seen like men on dates when they are comfortable? I think my husband, he used to do that. Like we would sit, if we are sitting next to each other, he would like embrace both chairs, like spread as wide as possibly can. It's also a sign of territory, so don't come close because she's with me. Or they would like hug their woman, when they are walking. So here we are talking about some nonverbal communication that couples can exhibit, and men can show these behaviors. They might do them on a subconscious level, which would be great actually if more men did that, just to demonstrate this is my territory, it's my domain, it's my dominion, she belongs to me, like with your body language. You don't have to say anything, just based on how you behave, people around you are going to notice that. So yeah. And then we have puffing up the chest, trying to establish territorial dominance, usually before fight. Do you remember that phrase? I didn't even know that sucker was going to punch me. Well, a person obviously ignored all of the red flags that were coming before they got punched. Usually people assume some posture, like a taking mode posture before they start fighting. So pay attention to that, and this is what we should teach our kids in school or elsewhere when they see some predators, who might attack them, like just so that they run away or learn how to respond accordingly.
I learned some of this, and I took a course in Commando Krav Maga. Teaches you how to defend yourself. So if you're facing off against a man and you hold your hands up like, I don't want to fight. Okay, so that's your posture.
Yeah.
Now you're watching him. And if he's wanting to fight, okay, your hands are up. Now you can use them. Mm-hmm. But if he starts dropping a shoulder back, oh, gee, could there be a punch coming my way?
Yes.
Okay, so there's body language there. This body language is very useful in martial arts because people tell what they have tells in their behavior. So this isn't just useful in communications. It's useful in combat too.
Yeah, it's applicable everywhere. And I remember we were taking some self-defense classes, and they were always telling us to watch the eyes of the person, because the eyes will either like when they are ready to fight, like you have to watch the micro expressions, not necessarily where the hand is coming, because when you bring your hands like in defense, it's when you're fighting already. Okay, it's like if you have still a chance to escape the bad situation, you should escape.
Sure.
But when it's too late, you know, and remember we have freeze, flight, and fight responses that are hardly wired into our limbic brain. So we first freeze, right? We slow down, we don't do anything, then we flight. If we can avoid something, we run away from it, right? And then fight if the threat is too close and we have to respond. Okay, there is no other option. So yeah, in that case, you like have to watch, and like, because when you bring your arms like this, you can like defend, and when the kick is coming from either side, but it's like boxing usually. When you fight for life or death situation, this may not apply, you know. Okay, let's move on. Nick has some issues with his battery today on his computer. I wonder if he's still there.
I'm
Oh,
here,
okay,
just
you're
trying
still
to get
here.
to work.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay,
Just
then
give me crap.
no worries. Okay, then wearing the torso, also removing clothing, jacket, short, or hat in preparation to strike. Okay, so watch out for that behavior. Breathing, pay attention to how people breathe when aroused or engaged for fight or flight. We take as much oxygen as possible. Breathing more deeply or panting. Ask why. Why do they do it? What caused that behavioral change? Okay, or what are they about to do? Try to anticipate their actions. Okay. Context plays in effect here hugely. Okay. Then shoulder shrugs, either partial shoulder shrug, one shoulder raises. It indicates lack of commitment or insecurity. Some people even associate it with lying or deceiving, but just by itself, it may not be enough. Okay. A message is dubious. Both shoulders up indicate lack of knowledge or doubt. And then we have the total effect. When shoulders rise towards the ears, chest kind of shrinks in, you know, you are very insecure. It indicates weakness and negative emotions. Okay, let's move on here. We are moving towards non-verbals of arms, hands, and fingers. So when we are happy or excited, confident and content, our arms move freely and joyfully. Gesticulating, holding, lifting, hugging, swinging, you know, the arm movement is not restrained in any way. Okay. Nick, could you move it slightly out to the side so we can see the full text? Yes, thank you. Oh, awesome. Okay. Then when we are upset or fearful, we withdraw the movement in our arms. Withdrawal behavior. Okay, so when injured, threatened, abused, worried, arms come straight to the sides, or they close across our chests. It's a self-restraining movement. A lot of kids, they exhibit this movement when they see abusive parents. They just draw their arms and limit the movement in the upper body. Okay. Then we have arm freeze in case of an abused child in front of abusive parents. So they just don't move their arms. Okay. And it's interesting that when we talk about deception, the restrained arm movement could also signal deception. Okay. Not always. You have to watch out for other things. Okay. But it's something to pay attention to, especially when the shift is drastic, like you were talking about something and then one topic arises, so you ask somebody a question and then they change their behavior. Okay, determine the baseline, starting position, to determine mood and feelings. Then arm cues that isolate. There is this regal stance when you bring your arms behind in the back, you interlock your hands behind there, you kind of puff up your chest a little bit. Yeah, this one shows don't draw near. Royalties use this one a lot. Okay, so they kind of show people that don't approach me. And then territorial displays to establish dominance or to communicate that there are issues, usually demonstrated by higher status individuals who claim more territory than low status people. Okay, so you see people in high positions, they tend to take more space. And then also watch in the intersexual dynamics between a woman and a man, who answers the questions, who takes most space in the house or on the picture or elsewhere. You know, if it's her, then she's dominant. She's displaying the territorial dominance over her husband. Chances are she has zero respect towards her man. Then arms akimbo, extending both arms in V pattern with the hands placed on your waist, thumbs backwards. So it's like that on your waist. Okay, thumbs are behind on your hips. So if you have thumbs forward, okay, I'll show it. Okay, so like that. Okay, so this is arms akimbo, but if you reverse it like that, so this one is less authoritative, and it's more inquisitive, and even women tend to use that one, especially in the corporate environment. So watch out the body language of women. They will start assuming some of the male body language even, you know. Then hooding effect, it's interlaced hands behind the head, indicate comfort and dominance. So like that. I see some content creators do that one. Okay, comfort and dominance, usually the senior person in the room. Okay, and then arms spread behavior to claim more territory. Like I did tell you that example in courtship, arms spread out over chairs tells the world you are feeling confident and comfortable and don't come. This is my territory. It's my woman, right? Hugging a woman to signify she's yours. Yes. Okay. Scroll down a little bit, Nick, please.
Okay.
Then we have cues of confidence and authority. Fingertips planted, spread apart on a surface. So when you talk, like imagine this is a table, right? And you place your fingers down. Okay, this is the sign of confidence. Okay, then arms and conduits of affection. We have hug, abrato, which is a brief hug, depending on the culture. Okay, some cultures don't embrace hugs. And yeah, keep that in mind when you travel somewhere. It helps to just familiarize yourself with what's appropriate and what's not appropriate in that culture that you're going to. Then people respond well to effective hand movements. Keep them visible. So if you're hiding your hand somewhere like under the table, people will be suspicious of you because they can't see your hands. So if in business negotiations, you've seen politicians do this, they always try to bring their hands in front in either this position or steepling or something else. Oh yes, like Nick is showing. Yeah. Try to keep your hands visible to others, because it doesn't mean that you are a lying person. It's just people will perceive you not from a positive light. Okay.
Hey, there's a behavior that's been called out recently in the internet. I think Joker called this out on Better Bachelor.
Uh-huh.
And I know the Jolly Heretic, Dr. Edward Dutton, did a thing on this. Bird hands. Have you heard of bird hands?
Broad hands? No, I haven't.
It's this, where a woke feminist is talking and she's got her hands, she's like she's pecking at you.
Oh,
And her
yes!
hands are
Oh my gosh!
out, and
Oh.
she is spouting some baloney, and she wants you to agree with her emphatically.
Nope.
And she's, you gotta watch for it. It is hilarious when you see it.
Yeah, it's like she's sucking your brain. My dad used to show this one to me a while ago when, oh gosh, you know, it was in relation to my mom when she was sucking his brain. She's like, you know, okay, well, but I think it's applicable. All women suck their
Karen behavior. That's what I call Karen behavior.
Karen behavior. Yes, yes.
Uh,
All women periodically do that. We can't help ourselves. Anyway, people respond well to effective hand movements. So keep them visible, guys. Hiding your hands creates negative impression. Then learn how to do a good handshake because it leaves an impression. Some people, some men, they try to demonstrate their dominance through a handshake, so they might, you know, like grip you too hard to just show that they are stronger, and it just leaves a negative impression. And they try to establish their dominance, but it's a waste of energy because there are other ways how you can demonstrate dominance. Eye gazing behavior could be more subtle but more effective, you know. And then Mormons do a very strong handshake, so be ready for that. Okay. Oh, Nick, you had something to say about it, no?
Oh, I was just about to say, but yeah, sometimes you shake a hand to a guy, and you can kind of look up to him, think well of the guy. Then after the handshake, you're just like, God.
Yeah. Well, handshake
Never happened to you, Steve?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of information conveyed there. If he's got a weak handshake, okay. If he's got a firm handshake,
Mm-hmm.
that's what you want. But then there's those guys who do the
squeezing,
crush your hand.
Crush it.
Okay, now you're trying to be a little bit too dominant there.
Yeah.
But then there's the politician's handshake, where you know you shake hands and he puts your other hand on top, or maybe this is the
it is politicians.
Pastor hand.
Yeah.
Did you do that as a pastor, Nick? You know, just to get in touch
only
with
to the women. Only to the women.
Oh,
only to the women. I would not do that to a man. Hell no.
Yeah, like, but why would you do it?
There's a lot of communication.
The older ladies liked it, but like I would never do that to a man. Oh my, no.
Wow, interesting. Why do women like it? I'm curious because you do a regular one and then you put another hand on top, right?
It's just a way of endearment, you could say.
It's
to them.
Just more. It's like a hug to their hand.
Right.
And there's more skin contact. It's more assuring when they want that. But when a guy does it to you, it's like, no. You're trying to get in a little bit too tight here. You're trying to sway me emotionally. No, I'm not having that.
Yeah. And also, like a hand on top, it's kind of a sign of dominance too. Like, you know, like with dogs, I noticed, like when they try to pet you, or cats, you know, like they try to bring their paws on top of you. So if you put your hand on top, they will try to cover it. You know, I think it has to do with a sign of dominance too. Yeah.
I don't know between man and a man.
Yeah.
I might be thinking It might be a sign of something else.
Something else, yeah, true. Well, I mean, yeah, especially if it has
Limp-wristed.
if it has different connotations too, like culturally and
Or
otherwise.
it could be just a used car salesman trying to sell you a lemon.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, okay, guys, let's move on. We'll go to the next point. Nonverbals of arms, hands, and fingers. Okay, so the red flags in a relationship when there is a decreased amount of touching, assuming it ever existed before. Okay, so gentlemen, watch out if your wife doesn't
Dang, that happened to
touch
me.
you. Yeah, I know, right? It applies to all of you guys, even my husband and his ex-wife. Yeah, reduced amount of touching, it's a red flag. Okay, the relationship is over. When there is trust, there is more tactile activity. That's it. Okay. Then what is offensive gesture? So when you finger point, okay, you point at somebody. Even when you do a video, like I see some women, they're like, like, here, you are bad,
Then there could be the actual contemptuous middle finger.
Yeah. Oh, I know. This broad sign, like it kind of looks like they are pointing, at you too.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. Then learn how to manage sweaty hands. Okay, that's important, especially like when you give handshakes to people. The self-preening when talking to others is considered rude, guys. Okay, especially ladies. Even if you are not interested in that man, just yeah, it's just disrespectful. Okay,
No, I like the self-preening.
you like the
It's a
self-preening?
tell. It's a
Well, it's
tell.
a tale, yeah. But I mean, it's
I
yeah,
mean, there's
definitely.
excessive, and then there's the tell.
Yeah.
But
Well, then pay attention to the pacifying behavior like nail biting to combat insecurity or nervousness. Stippling of hands. So fingertip to fingertip here displays confidence, especially when your hands are landed on the table or on the surface and others can see it. Then hand wringing. It's a universal way of showing we are stressed out or concerned. We have low confidence. So instead of stippling, notice, Nick, like you tell me something that I don't agree with, I don't like it, and my hands slide like that. Okay, so usually when you are talking, yes, and then like that.
no,
Yeah,
so
you could be
that's wrong.
you could be listening, but it could signify that you are losing confidence also. So stippling is considered to be higher confidence, okay, and then winning would be low confidence,
I don't buy it.
Yeah, well, yeah, some of these are idiosyncratic, so you have to pay attention to other
Maybe for women, I don't see guys doing that.
yeah.
It's-
I
Yeah, if
often
they're
see
wringing
like
their hands
that,
like
yeah.
this, yeah, I can see that. But if they're just doing this,
If you're just doing this
just
as your normal, yeah, then that doesn't apply. But if you go from here, transitioning here, when somebody told you something, then yeah, it could be that you're losing confidence a little bit. Okay. So yeah, then thumb sticking out of the pockets. So like men place the rest of the fingers into the pockets and the thumb sticking out, or like just they are talking about and then there is this thumb sticking out of the pocket, and I see women exhibit this behavior too. It's a sign of high confidence. Okay. Thumbs up is a good indicator of positive thoughts. This can be fluid during conversation, so it can kind of change a little bit and move a little bit, but like in general, like thumbs up is a good sign. Thumbs can suddenly disappear when there is less emphasis on emotions, when emotions turn negative, so like watch out if like first it was up and then slowly kind of down. Depends on the context, of course. And then we have thumbs in the pocket indicate low status or confidence. Okay, so
since Nick is from Texas, he should know this. Aren't cowboys supposed to stick their hands in their pockets and have their thumbs out? They never stick their whole hand in their pocket. Think of the cowboy stance.
No, you don't ever have really your whole hand in your pocket unless you're fishing something out. Or you're cold.
Right. So
it's really
cowboy
cold.
stance,
cold, yeah.
when you think about it, the cowboy leaning against a fence with his hands in his pocket, his thumbs are always out.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's a sign of confidence and comfort. So yeah, okay, thumbs up in the pockets is a sign. Okay, hold on. Yeah, thumbs in the pockets indicate low status and confidence, and both thumbs in the pockets is a sign of insecurity or social discomfort. Okay.
Hey, there's another image that comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
The young man asking the girl out. His hands are in his pocket. He's shuffling his feet because he's nervous, and he's looking down, and he asks her out. It's not going to be successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, how many signs of nervousness and meekness do you have to show? I mean, we can all kind of, at least I can picture these things in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe young men, before they have reached a level of confidence, kind of do exhibit that behavior. At least some.
Yeah. Yeah, when you are
I care too much.
Mm-hmm. Well, Nick, what you you are obviously a man that a lot of women deem attractive, so you don't but most men are not going to be that, so
No, look, it's also amount of confidence. Girls get turned on by confidence.
Confidence, yeah.
And after a while, you just have to not care.
Yeah.
The more you don't care, the more successful you might be in that.
Yeah, true. Well, these are just some things that you gentlemen can maybe adjust in your behavior. Next time you approach a woman, you put your thumbs sticking up, maybe, experiment with that.
I'm reading through this, and this is just a lot of the stuff I was taught and had to learn when I was selling cars. Reading body behavior, managing my own behavior with the nonverbals as well.
Yeah.
A lot of it projects confidence or insecurity, and you want to be look genuine, be confident.
Yeah.
I mean, you should be genuine, but a lot of car salesmen aren't.
Yeah, true. A salesman in general, it's yeah.
But look, you have to be confident, and men need to have the mentality like, look, there's how many billions of women out there in the world. Next.
Yeah.
It's like you're not going to sell every person you meet in the car lot.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you'll close it on some.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can try some of these nonverbals, guys. Tell us which ones worked for you, and which ones you found more successful with women. And like if it doesn't work on one woman, try it with another woman and see.
Yeah. Well, the mystery was on Rolo's show, and he's like saying, I don't like the comparison with sales or car salesmen and addressing women. It's like he must not know car sales very well, because so much of it is there's limited rational thinking, more so on the male end if he wants a specific thing, but especially with trying to sell to women, it is not a rational decision.
Yeah.
It is not.
It's all over business. when you're
It's
selling, you need to develop a rapport. You need to make the other person comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have confidence. You need to understand their needs. There's a lot of sub-communication going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not trying, you might be trying to manipulate them, but not necessarily. You might just be trying to come to a meeting of minds, make the sale. Doesn't mean it's deceptive. I think it applies. Body language is really important, even between men. It's not the same body language, though.
No.
Yeah.
You're not, for instance, you meet a woman, you can reach over if there's some rapport there. And if you touch her on her arm, that conveys a level of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to do that to another guy.
Yeah, true.
Or walking across the room, if you're with a woman, and you put your hand on her lower back. Just, to keep touch, kind of guide her a little bit. Oh, man, women love that. You're not going to do that to another guy. Body language and touch, knowing how to do it, is very useful knowledge to have.
It's very, very useful. Yeah. Well, this is why we are talking about it. And I know there is a lot of information, guys, because there are a lot of these nonverbal tales. But the more you know, the more you can apply and see which ones work for you, and comment, tell us which ones you think are more useful. Then there is this interesting one, genital framing. Okay, this one applies only to men. And these thumbs inside man's waistband. Okay, thumbs, in this case, thumbs inside, but fingers are up. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate it, but I'm not a man. Okay, so kind of like that. Okay, so like they are framing their genitals and they are signaling signaling dominance. So check me out, I'm a viral male. Okay.
Okay, what does the Al Bundy move mean? You remember from Married with Children, where he'd take the palm of his hand and put it in the front of his pants?
Yeah. Oh, there's just one hand?
Yeah, like that.
Oh, okay.
You remember that from that show?
I didn't.
He'd be leaning on the couch and he'd put. I don't know what that meant, but it was kind of a trademark move.
Okay, interesting. I'll have to watch it in the context to see what it could mean. I'll have to watch it. How's it called, Steve?
Married with Children. It's an old sitcom. What was that, from the 90s? Al Bundy.
Yeah, early 90s. Yeah.
The glory of his life was his football career in high school. And he's got a bossy wife, and
okay.
it's stereotypical, but it was funny.
Okay, I'll watch it, and then I'll tell you what I think about it. Okay, cool. Then we have frozen hands. Liars tend to gesture less. They touch less, and they move their arms less. They move their legs less than honest people. Okay. It's not a guarantee by itself. You obviously have to pay attention to other things, but in general, they tend to control their movements because they are concerned more about how people view them than making a point. Okay. Then watch nonverbals in progression, when relaxed and when the change happens. Okay, this is crucial. Then interlaced stroking or rubbing of hands. Okay, like that. Okay, so you rub like one palm, you can see, right? Okay. Other palm, like you kind of like massage maybe, yeah. It's to pacify anxiety or nervousness.
Not what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
I
okay.
know Steve knows what I'm thinking of.
Okay, well, you don't have to tell me what you think.
Last
do
name
you?
is not Baum or Steen or something.
Well, like, okay,
That's
fine.
that's the washing of the hands.
The washing,
Oh,
yeah. It's not the same, Nick. Okay, this one is just like that. Okay, when you're at a meeting and you start doing this, maybe you won't, but when you watch people doing this, okay? So they start stroking their fingers across the palm or rubbing their hands together. Watch for transition and change in behavior. They are doing it to pacify their anxiety and nervousness. Okay, that's cool. It's like I'm doing now that I'm doing it. It does cool me down. It even can slow down your heart rate a little bit. So watch for a micro gesture. It's a tiny hand movement attempting to suppress a normal response. So like you start, but then you stop, like something like that. It's really quick. So you really have to pay attention. Okay. I don't catch all of them. No, I'm not that good, but the bigger ones. Okay,
the
then what?
Russian spy. It's not
Yeah.
that good.
Well, I mean, it's just like I haven't actually like there are some things that I never really paid attention to until I read this book. So yeah, like you constantly expand on
Mm.
your knowledge and repertoire, what you do there. There are a lot of nonverbals, guys, a lot. Okay. Then yeah, watch for a gradual hand withdrawal. It's a psychological flight response, remember. And then neck touching. Okay, neck touching, remember, it's a pacifying behavior, relieving stress and anxiety. Yeah, you could be stretching, you could even stretch your head behind, neck. Bow tie, adjusting a bow tie also is a pacifying behavior. Okay, and it does slow down, it can slow down the heart rate too. Okay. Then, okay, we are moving to the most interesting part now, nonverbals of the face. Okay. See, we are going through this. Okay, facial muscles control the movement of eyes, mouth, lips, nose, forehead, jaw, ears, and enable us to produce more than 10,000 different facial expressions, according to Paul Ekman. Okay. Nonverbals of face are very effective, efficient, and when not interfered with, they're quite honest. Okay. Remember we talked about the most honest part is the feet, legs, then like the torso, right? The face is the most deceptive part because it's been taught how to lie and fake different expressions on demand since we are kids. Okay, you don't like somebody, you have to pretend that you like them, you give them this polite smile, right? So that yeah people don't suspect you in anything. Then universally recognized facial expressions are happiness, sadness, anger, fear, surprise, disgust, joy, rage, shame, anguish, and interest, according to Paul Ekman. Then we learn to control and manipulate our facial expressions since the very childhood, thus put on a false front or face can lie a lot. And it applies to actors, politicians, and who else? Women! You see here? I put women here because it's a face facade, like what they do. It's actually an obvious one. We don't have to dive into these micro facial expressions and other expressions. We don't have to dive into the body language. You just watch the camouflage, the mask she wears, and you guys talked about it on your channel, right? The Resurgence of Sanity YouTube channel. Go watch that show, the mask she wears. That's an obvious one, like a TreadCon mask or TreadWife mask.
I think that was one of your favorite episodes.
Yes, well, because look, you just watch their behavior in progression. You don't even have to analyze their mimic, their gesticulation, and go watch that live stream, guys. Okay. Trying to influence the perception of others through false smile, fake tears, and deceiving looks. So, yeah, this is the people who are using they are faced to manipulate certain expressions to influence others. So then,
And it's funny when you see someone calling out an example of a woman, there's some kind of conflict going on, or she's caught in something. She'll go through the false smile.
yeah.
Then she'll move to maybe a fear thing. And then maybe an attack mode. And then when none of that works, then she'll go to the fake tears. And when that doesn't work, okay, the tears will just dry up, and then she'll go in brutal, angry attack mode. Or it might be a different series of things. But there are examples out there. And if you watch YouTube long enough, you'll find someone analyzing a woman's behavior where she goes through all these different
stages.
Stages,
yeah. Yeah, it's the behavioral sequence or behavioral pattern that we will talk about it. You have to watch them in sequence, how they follow one another. And I was watching recently Donovan's live stream where there was a woman and she tried all sorts of tactics. So first, like Steve described, like first it was like flirtatious, kind of like get away from problem, Then when she realized that didn't work, she started crying, and then she started accusing men, and then like she became really angry and mad. So they try all kinds of manipulations and see what sticks.
Okay. So this is really bad for me. My ex-wife, her favorite on her Facebook before she deleted it, her favorite pastime was acting. And she could fake smile, fake tears. I mean, she could do the works.
Well, I would
she
say
would even come up with backstories, false, backstories that were half truths, right? Then she would even go so far as like to try to prove something. She would harm herself in ways, and then people probably look at her and, well, I know that when the time they came in the church, I mean, the back of her hands were red. I'm like, well, that's interesting because I never touched the back of her hands. Well, she had a habit of slamming her head into things, her elbows, her fists, her arms,
Yeah.
So what happens when it gives the appearance, a false front of something else, which is actually the opposite.
Yeah, true. And so many women are actually guilty of that. Not necessarily the self-inflicting injuries. That's, I think, a pathological phenomena. But when they fake crying, when they fake smiles, when they fake their appearance, in either way of all of these emotions, it takes look, even for professional lie detectors, for professional investigators and agents, it does take a while for them to figure out whether a person is lying or not. It's not that simple, guys. Okay, because you have to watch it in progression. You have to watch the sequence of behaviors.
No.
Women are good at manipulating.
You know how you can usually tell when a woman's usually a liar, and if she has control of money.
Yeah.
She covers her mouth.
What? No.
Will she cover her mouth? Oh, okay.
No, numbers don't lie.
Well, if you realize that she's the one who is dominant and wears pants in the family, yeah, she's going to defer to all kinds of manipulations and
But at the end of the day, you can do all the manipulations, but the numbers don't add up.
So are you saying when you'd look at the bank statement and the numbers don't add up, she would use her acting skills to try and deal with it?
Oh, no. Yeah, she would do that. That's when I started paying attention. Then she really didn't like it. But then I'd ask her what our balance was, and I never had access to the actual, bank statements that were sent to me monthly. She was the only one with online access. So I would ask how her finance is doing, what's the balance. And then I get these things in the mail. Why do you owe this person money? I thought that bill was paid. Then I get a call from somebody, hey, something's not working out here financially. I'm like, what do you mean? I was told this was paid. And then when I start looking at the bank statements, it was already over by that point, but I was like, holy shit. It was all a fucking lie. It was all a fucking lie.
She's in charge of money. Yeah, she's in charge of she's going to be.
No.
Yeah.
And then I was gonna pull some money out of my savings. I didn't think anything. And I was like, oh, where are you going to? Oh, I'm gonna go to the bank and pull money out of my savings. And she's freaking out. I was driving everywhere and I was just getting some kids some fishing poles. I mean, that was about it. But okay. Like now, the day after I got out of jail, when I had the false accusations, went to all the banks, I found all this shit. And then I saw that around that same, I think it was about that same day I mentioned I was going to take money out of my savings. Miraculously, there was no money there, but miraculously the money showed back up.
Mm-hmm.
You see the history of the transactions. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all along, she was using acting or body language
Absolutely.
to assure Nick that there's no problems here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was all a lie.
Yeah. Well, women are pathological liars. I mean, yeah, like it starts with cosmetics. Like we want to be viewed differently than we actually are, and yeah, it's
there's good reason for that, because women kind of form the social fabric, keep relationships going, and women can be absolutely brutal. If in a group of women, one woman stands out, then she gets ridiculed, picked on, malicious talk about her. She gets shunned from the group. That's actually kind of dangerous to her self-preservation. So women learn to behave within the group, tell the group what the group wants to hear, basically wear the mask among other women.
Yeah.
And then then they can be devious behind the scenes with one of the other women to gossip, blah, 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 whatever. But a lot of women's survival depends on them lying to other women and also lying or telling white lies to men. I mean, look at women encouraging other women to get their hair cut short. Oh, you look great. Okay, that's a complete lie. What they're trying to do is make the other woman look less attractive, so that woman is less competition. Now, this happens in married women all the time, and it's actually reproductive competition as well. If a woman encourages another woman to cut her hair short, it's unconscious, but yeah, maybe her husband won't want to make love to her, and maybe they won't have another kid, and I will, or I have my 2 kids, and if she only has 1, I'm winning. This is not a conscious behavior, but women are very competitive amongst themselves and not in overt means. So women become very skilled at lying.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They are. This is why I brought them up, because like they are lying with all of the masks. This is so true. They align to themselves and they align to men by putting on different masks. So yeah. Well, let's move on, guys.
And also, women do not have the amount of muscles, the ability to project physical force. Men do. So women counter that with basically subversion and manipulation. That is their means of control, whereas a man's means of control is force. But of course, men are not allowed to use force now.
Of course not.
But women still are allowed and always do use subversion and manipulation.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be fair if men could counterbalance with their physical force some of that subversion and manipulations that women use on them. Anyway, guys, let's move on. Okay, so we have here negative emotions, which are displeasure, disgust, antipathy, fear, or anger, that make us tense. So tightening of the jaw muscles, furrowing of forehead, flaring nostrils, also known as a nasal wing dilation, intention cue, squinting of the eyes, twitching of the mouth, lip occlusion, like lip seemingly disappear. So it's a sign of high distress or discomfort. Then also watch for stiff neck. The muscles here will tense up. Okay, and then it will be fixed.
Mine are always tense, though. That's why I'm always going like this.
Oh, like stretching, relaxing. I was wondering. I was like,
No,
okay, you do that one. I was like, what is it? Yeah, it could be that. Yeah. See.
No, it's stiff, and it hurts.
Yeah, it does stretch it. Yes. You need to do some neck stretches.
So don't mistake that in men that work out. Their neck actually might be freaking stiff.
Stiff, yeah. So. Yeah. Well, but it has to be combined with other facial expressions. So if you just have stiff neck, guys, if you only have one sign, you always try to watch for multiple tails to build a bigger picture. If you only judge a person's feeling or emotion or intention based on one tail, for example, Nick's stiff neck, okay, it's not going to be enough. Okay, the neck is stiff, so it could be from workout. Context matters here. Okay, but
I'm thinking of like how I could throw Elena off next time.
But then tightening of jaw, also furrowing of forehead, flaring nostrils, squinting eyes, all of this combined, lip compression also, it's a sign of distress and discomfort. Then genuine unrestrained feeling of happiness or comfort is loosening of furrowed lines of the forehead, then relaxation of the muscles around the mouth, full lips. So even if Nick has this tight neck, the rest of the face is kind of relaxed, there is no tension there. Then the full lips, a widening of the eye area, head tilt to one side, exposing the most vulnerable area, which is the neck. Okay, so when you are tilting your head to like one side a little bit, it could be a sign of comfort. Okay, I'm comfortable, I'm receptive, I'm friendly. Okay, this is what it signifies. Then watch out for the pupillary constriction and squinting as a form of eye blocking. So pupils dilate when we are comfortable around those we are emotionally attached to. Then we squint when we are angry, or even when we hear voices, sound, music that we don't like, just to block out that light or objectionable things. It can be very brief. It could be 1/8 of a second. Okay. In real time, it can reflect the negative thought or emotion. So you have to pay attention. Okay. It can be very quick. So it's like, somebody told you something, and then also remember that people try to adjust their behavior sometimes when they realize, oh, somebody might perceive me squinting as a bad sign that I don't like them, so they will do it very, very quickly. Okay, and then it will be back to normal. So if you're not paying attention to that tiny sign, you're going to ignore it. Okay. Then eye touching, eye blocking with hands. Yeah, saying I don't like what I just heard, saw, or learned. A brief touch may give you a clue to a person's negative perception of what is being discussed. Delay in opening the eyelids upon hearing information or lengthy closure signals negative emotions and displeasure. So when you are saying something and a person is like that, like with closed eyes, could mean something. Okay, depends on the context. Again, it could be just a person is tired also, but also watch out for the mouth and other facial expressions in that case. If they are angry, their lips, nostrils and everything else. Where eyelids compress tightly, the person is trying to block out totally some negative news or events. So it's like that. Okay, and you might even have some shake with the head. Depends on how tight they squint their eyes. Okay, let's move on to the next one, Nick. Okay, more nonverbals of face. There are a lot of them. Like I said, we're not going to cover all 10,000 of them. Just a few. Okay, flash bulb eyes. These are the wide-eyed look associated with surprise or positive events. It's a gravity-defying behavior. Eyes are relaxed. They show little tension. Okay, and then eye flash. It takes place very quickly. It's like staccato-like during a positive emotional event. It's pleasant surprise, emphasis. It shows intensity. Wow, like ooh, and you can see it in their eyes. Okay, and then raise their eyebrows and flare their eyes. Genuine positive display also, so you can see it at the same time. Like eyes flash and then their eyebrows rise. It means that, sorry guys, my dog here. It means that the person is excited to see someone and can't hold back. Okay, so it's almost like a surprised reaction, arched eyebrows a little bit, wide open eyes, like, oh, like great to see you, or something like that. Then eye gaze behavior. It depends on the context. Rely on the facial expressions for more accuracy. Strong gaze could communicate love, interest, or hate. We gaze away during conversation to engage a thought more clearly without distraction of looking at the person with whom we are talking. Okay, Steve, I remember we talked about it last time when a person gazes away to think and process. It's mistakenly viewed as rudeness or rejection. Nick, could you scroll it to the side a little bit?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Just to make sure that we've covered everything. I think we did. Oh, yes. Okay, awesome. It's not a sign of deception or disinterest. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Then eye aversion. It's a downward gaze, demonstrates processing of sentiment or feeling. In some cultures, it's expected in the face of authority or high status individual. Children would often gaze down when they're being chastised by their parents or by adult. It's not a sign of deception. Okay. Watch out how women talk, how women react to their husbands chastising them. Also, if they exhibit any of these behaviors, so this could be helpful. Yeah. Then Oh, what is it? L blink.
Minor.
Sorry, eye blink. Yeah, I have a typo here. Eye blink or eye flutter behavior. It's rapid eye blinks. Show inner struggle, something we don't like to hear. It's trouble expressing ourselves, struggle with our performance or acceptance of information. Okay. Eye blink increases in stressful situations. So it's like really, it could be quick. I don't know. It could be idiosyncratic pertinent to each person. Okay. So yeah, watch out for that too. Looking askance. How do you say this one?
Askance.
Askance. Okay. It's a sideways or tilted head, slightly motion, like, I don't know if you can see my face here. Like with suspicious gaze. Yeah. Accompanied by a side glance or a brief roll of the eyes. It shows suspicion of others, question the validity of what somebody else is saying. It's distrustful, disrespectful, unconvinced. Again, when you see these videos posted by trad wives, tradcons, husbands, wives, or just not on social media, but in person as well, notice how women react to what their husbands say. Okay.
Oh man, now we got to talk about the eye roll.
Yes.
Oh man, that is powerful.
Uh-huh.
If you're talking to a woman, especially your wife, if she rolls her eyes, it shows she has contempt and disgust for you.
Yeah.
Now, it could be unconscious, but women will often consciously do that as a means to communicate that they find you disgusting.
Yeah.
And I have proof of this, which I won't share right now, but the eye roll is a conscious thing that women do. And it is, if a woman rolls her eyes at you, you're not in good standing with her. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, so true. Yeah. Very disrespectful behavior, and what it shows that I'm listening to what you are saying, but I'm not buying what you are saying, at least not yet. Okay, well, he's being polite here. Okay, let's move on. False smile versus real smile. This difference was made by Paul Ekman. Fake smile is a polite smile. It's a social obligation towards those who are not close to us. The corners of the mouth move towards the ears, but they kind of stay in one line. Okay, so yeah. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, and each person might have like kind of a variation of that smile. A real honest smile is reserved for those people and events that we truly care about. Okay, the zygomaticus major stretches to the corners of the mouth to the cheekbones, and then orbicularis oculi surrounding the eye, clinking the outer edges of the eye, causing the cow's feet. I'm sure you've seen like I can't even fake it now. Oh, like that. Okay, so there will be some wrinkles here also. Okay, so there is a difference between the fake smile and the real smile, and it's important to determine the baseline with each person that you're talking to see their real smile versus their fake smile. Okay, because each person has one. Okay, let's move on. More nonverbals here. So disappearing of the lips or lip compression, the upside down U. It's the manifesting true negative feeling, stress, anxiety, and discomfort. Talking in front of the Congress, testifying in front of the jurors. It doesn't mean that a person is lying. It just means that he's uncomfortable. Okay, watch the progression of the movement. It can be very quick. Then upside down U indicates high distress or discomfort. It's a fearful cue. A person experiences extreme amount of stress, and most people who try to force the upside U shape, they can't fake it. It's very hard to fake it. It's a limbic response. It's hard to mimic unless we are experiencing distress or unless we are grieving. Okay, and then watch normal baseline behavior. If normally the corners of the mouth face down, some people, the gravity takes over and they're like, oh, they have just the mouth like that. Okay, that kind of faces
Steve,
down.
you know what's coming into your mind, right? Probably the same thing.
What's coming in my mind is it's such
RBF.
a common behavior. Her face took a set in that direction.
Yes.
RBF.
RBF, yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that, Steve? What's RBF?
Does it start with the word resting?
Yeah.
What's the next word?
Bitch.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Resting bitch face?
Face, yeah, resting bitch face, yes. Yeah. I need to write it down. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that kind of face, then it's not an accurate sign of distress. Okay, because if the face has already accumulated to that position, it would be something else that you would have to pay attention to. So, but it's not the majority of people, you know. Yeah. Although there are a lot of bitches out there. I mean, yeah, kind of hard to tell. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's move on. Lip frost or pucker. While someone is talking, sign of disagreement. Okay, so when you are, you know, like pressing your
Where's that famous? The lip pucker. Does it come to mind? Dana Carvey doing the church lady.
Oh,
on Saturday Night Live. Remember how the church lady would always purse her lips?
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'll have to watch that too. Then thinking of a possible alternative also. It could mean that. Then sneer signifies disrespect or disdain. I care little for you or for your thoughts. Also, watch out, this one, it's a red flag when we are talking about interpersonal relationship with women in particular. Yeah, this is the facial expression that, if ignored, can lead you to bad outcomes too. Okay, then tongue displays. When stressed out, our mouth dries and we tend to lick our lips to moisten them. We rub our tongue back and forth across our lips to pacify our nervousness. Okay, so it's like, it could be really fast, you know. I'm showing it, but I usually don't do it, but I've seen people do it. So yeah, then lip biting, mouth touching, lip licking, or object biting. So you could be chewing on a pen or a pencil. Yeah, it happens because people are stressed. Okay. It could be a sign of insecurity when a person takes a lot of time to ponder their opinions while licking and touching lips. Okay. And then tongue jutting behavior. When people think they've gotten away with something they shouldn't do, they screw up and they're being caught to do something wrong. Like, you know, it's really fast. It can be really quick. Then furrowed forehead occurs when person is anxious, sad, concentrating, concerned, puzzled, or angry. It means discomfort or anxiety. Okay. And then nasal wind dilation, nose flare. This one we've talked about before. It's a cue that signals a person is aroused. Intention cue of upcoming action, not necessarily sexual. But look here, in a relationship, lovers absorb each other's sense of sexual attraction, the pheromones. So they will try to sniff. If your woman is not attracted to your smell, well, first of all, if she's not attracted to you, she will not try to smell you. Okay. Also check for feet position, pugilistic position involving fighting with fists. Okay. Then watch for suspicious behavior of someone who might attack you or run away from you. And teach this to kids, okay, so that they at least know like the basics, how to interact with people and what to expect from people based on some body language. Okay. So do you have any comments on pheromones, guys?
I know Steve does on birth control.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can tell you a pheromone story. Back, I think it was the day I first talked to my second wife, ex-wife, on the phone. Okay, we'd been doing text, we met online. So, okay, so I called her. And so, obviously, I'm attracted to her. I don't know if I don't think we'd even seen each other's faces yet. But I talked to her. So, and I liked what she said. She was saying, so, okay, my mind is focused on her, kind of. So I'll get on an airplane and I'm reading a book. Just, going through it. And all of a sudden, I cannot read this book anymore. And the stewardess or flight attendant was walking up and down the aisle. A younger woman. I don't even remember what she looked like. Not super hot. Kind of a nice looking mid, thin, nice personality. But I could not concentrate on anything. And I'd been kind of studying this stuff. So I start to think it's such a rare occurrence in our society now where you encounter a woman who is not on birth control. So is it possible that at the time she was ovulating, obviously there's those scents going out, those signals, and they're designed to God designed these things to bring people together who are biologically compatible. I mean, her pheromones are not going to attract every man, but for some reason, I could not take my attention off of her. And so now you're in a tin can, 20,000 feet up in the air. Yeah, breathing the same air. Oh, yeah, okay. Pheromones are going to be strong in that case. So they can be overpowering. They're necessary to give someone that boost and that confidence from the man to approach a woman and ask her. This is completely unconscious. And there's nothing you can do about it. And frankly, in our world today, it is so unbelievably rare for men to be around ovulating women. It just doesn't happen because they're all on birth control.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, are these things real? Yeah, I think they are. Do we experience them today? Not very often.
Yeah.
I mean, how often are you going to find a young single woman not on birth control, who is exuding those fertility pheromones that encourage men to approach, or the right kind of man. We've kind of screwed up our society. I think God designed some of these things for reasons. And of course, in a moral society, you would have the self-discipline to approach if you need to. But you know what? In 100 years ago, 150 years ago, people didn't have to approach women because you lived in a small community. So you knew everything about the women that lived, or the young girls who lived within a, let's say, 4-mile radius of you. And so then the pheromones would come out, and all of a sudden you would recognize, hey, I kind of like her. So you already knew each other. And so there wasn't a lot of awkwardness. You just start talking more. And then all this nonverbal body language and, I'm interested, you're interested, you're showing this body language, I'm showing that. And there wasn't much of a need to approach strange women or unknown women when you lived in a small agricultural community. This became prevalent in the city, in big cities, and even in old European cities. Families lived there. They went to the same church. You knew the people in the community, and chances are you were going to marry one of the people in the community. There wasn't this need to meet people you didn't know.
Oh, this is what global market did for everyone. It expanded options, and now because of so many options, I don't know, more options doesn't mean better, right?
So, okay. If you do meet your person, your future spouse or whatever, online, like I did for the second marriage, and like Elena did with her husband, Plutarch, you communicate first. There is no body language. It's kind of an unnatural way of doing it. So then when you do meet the first time, you have to be even more conscious of how does that other person smell? Because if they don't smell right, it's not going to be a good match. I mean, and it's going to be an unconscious. You'll know it if it's, I want to breathe the same air as her. She wants to breathe the same air as me. She wants to get in close. Okay, you're going to know. And the pheromones are going to trigger a lot of unconscious behaviors and the body language to be consistent with what the pheromones are telling your brain.
So true. Well, okay, let's proceed, gentlemen. We have a little bit left here.
Okay. I was going to suggest.
Well, let's finish
that we finish this slide, nonverbals of the face. Before I realized there's 4 slides titled nonverbals of the face.
We were going through them. Well, there are a lot of facial expressions, guys.
And then after that, we still have enough left for a third installment. And then if there's extra space at the end of that one, we can just have more back and forth dialogue. What's that sound like?
Let's do it. Okay. Let's just finish. Oh my gosh. I think this next one will be the last one. Can you scroll down to see like how many faces we have? left. Okay, yes, okay, let's cover this last one. Okay, okay, remember nail biting. Okay, also can you lift it up a little bit, just to make sure we've covered everything there. Okay, stress and anxiety, then facial blushing and blenching, also blenching, sorry, the color of the face. Okay, due to violation of person's space, if you intimidate somebody or if you violate their personal space, they might turn purple or red or pink, right? So watch out for those signs as well. Okay, and then turning pale when they are in shock. Okay, let's move on. We'll finish this slide, guys, and then we'll leave the rest of the presentation for next time. Okay, so nonverbals of the face, the disapproval cues. These are the squinting eyes, followed by a dismissive tone of the face away. Whistling in Russia, for example, would be considered inappropriate in a public place. So if you do that, you will notice people are like gazing at you and then turning away from you, right? And then talking too loud in some cultures could be considered inappropriate. And then check here, stoic men give that face to let us know we are doing something wrong or getting out of line. Boundaries important.
I know who does that.
Who?
Doesn't your husband do that?
Well, yes, he does. Yeah, my dad did it. My husband does it. Yes, it works on women and it works on children. But women and children need to know how to read it. You know, like they need to know. They need to have the insight to recognize that this is what their man is exhibiting, right? Not just disregard or roll their eyes on this man, right? So they have to be able to catch that and, okay, we are doing something wrong here. Okay, then rolling of the eyes is considered very rude and disrespectful, especially from subordinates, which could be women and children, according to God's design, right, Nick? Very disrespectful behavior. Okay, then facial displays of disgust or disapproval are very honest and are reflexive of what is going on in the brain. Disgust is a very, very, very old response. We've developed it throughout millennia. We were detecting good food from bad food. You know, we had to develop that one, and it's hardly wired into our brain. So it's a very, very accurate tale. Usually when you see it, you know. Okay, so yeah, that one is very hard to ignore. Like if you know what to look for, you will pay attention to it. Okay, and then facial.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is a speculation on my part. Guys, a lot of guys talk about their divorce and how they didn't see it coming. And all of a sudden, it's like she flips a switch. She's done. There's nothing you can do. There is no compromise. There is no cooperation. It's just she wants you dead. She wants you divorced. She wants you enslaved. She wants your money. She's not going to be reasonable. There's going to be narratives. There's going to be false accusations. It's like you are all of a sudden the worst person on the planet. And years before, she said her wedding vows to you.
Yeah.
Till death do us part. What happened? What was this switch that happened? Well, it's the disgust. Disgust and contempt for you. So the process, in my belief, is she loses respect for you. Okay, if you're a nice guy or not dominant enough or give in to her too much, you become the nice guy. And then you just think you're the great provider, and that's all you're doing. You're not leading. Now she sees this nice guy or this guy who gives in to her all the time is being weak. She has no use for a weak man. And over time, this disrespect moves towards disgust and contempt. And once that switch is flipped into disgust, all the attraction is gone, all the sex is gone, anything cooperative is gone, you're done. And so, body language, what led up to this? She was giving you signs of her disgust the whole time, and you, as the man, were clueless. The signs were there. You didn't know to look for them, or you were just oblivious and didn't see them. So, is there anything to prevent this? Not really. But you can increase your odds by being dominant and not giving in to her, not being the nice guy, and riding herd on her behavior, keeping tabs on things. Like, okay, Nick was the nice guy when he let her take care of the finances and he just trusted her. Because then it opened up for deceit. And if he didn't call her on her bad behavior because he just automatically trusted that it was good, then, okay, that is, well, there was a lot of other things going on. But that's part of the thing, that the guy who lets her get away with shit is weak.
And don't listen to your church advisors. Oh, you just need to trust her. Oh, if she likes doing finances, let her do it. And I'm like, but it's like she keeps effing it up. Oh, you just need to trust her. Don't be so controlling. How about this, guys? Go F yourself.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm just saying that all this body language behavior.
Not you, Steve. I'm talking about
it's important.
People.
Oh, you can tell me that, Nick. I'm not going to get offended.
Oh, I know. No, I wasn't talking to you.
Well, I've done my stories, and then what's to say? Or I've said, Nick, you were just a total dumb shit. And he goes, yep.
Yep.
And I think Nick has said that to me. Steve, you were just a dumb shit. And I'll say, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. My dad calls me up. Hey, how are you doing, dumbass? I'm like, yep, takes one to know one.
Unfortunately, it comes with.
My dad just sees me repeat the same mistakes he made. He's just like, shit.
Experience. Yeah. Some of those mistakes, I'm telling you guys, like you have to, if you haven't experienced it, you haven't learned it, right? Smart people learn from the mistakes of other people. Stupid, I mean, But at least you're not that stupid anymore, There is that.
Nick, how about, what if we both love Jesus and we just promise to be open and honest with each other, and then it'll all work out, right?
Sure.
Yeah, good luck.
No, I mean, guys, if you're just trusting in open and honest and reason and rationality and all that to make sure your life turns out great, doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
This body language stuff, it's also known as subcommunication. Yeah. There's the verbal communication on the level, and then there's all the subcommunication, which psychologists have said that the bulk of the actual communication happens below the verbal level. It's the bulk of the information is subcommunication.
It's 65%. Yeah. Yeah, or even more. It could be 75%, guys. Yeah, it's what we exhibit with our body. It's how we say things, not what we actually say. Okay. So body language is important. Okay, so pay attention to your body language. Definitely follow guys' advice, but also watch your behavior and body language.
But when she says it's not what you say, but how you say it, bullshit. She just doesn't want to be. Chances are you called her out on her shit, and she doesn't want to be held accountable. She
Yes.
wants to rebel. So yeah.
Yes. Well, they will use part of psychology. This is what I really don't like about women, that they use the parts of the Bible or parts of the science that they agree with, and to promote their bullshit narratives also, Okay. Yeah. Then gravity defined behaviors such as keep your chin up. It promotes that. Well, not promotes, but it exhibits this positive feeling, comfort, and confidence with the chin up, nose up. So when your chin goes up, nose goes up. Okay. When confidence is low, we are concerned for ourselves. The chin will tuck in, lowering the nose as well. Okay. Then the rule of mixed signals here, guys, and we will talk about the mixed signals later in determining whether people align or not. That will be a very interesting conversation. I think we'll do it next week, just to sum this whole topic up and be done with it. Okay. So yeah, we say one thing, but we mean another. When confronted with mixed signals from the face, such as happiness cues along with anxiety or pleasure alongside displeasure, always side with the negative emotion as the most honest and reliable. Okay. It's the most genuine cue because it's the most immediate reaction to a situation. Because after a moment, we realize how others might see us and we mask the initial response. This is important. Okay. So when you see, you have to pay attention to when you're talking to a person, like you ask them uncomfortable question, watch from start to finish their reaction. And if they first react like, they twitch or like they, squint their eyes or compress their lips or something, that is the most reliable response, because then it can be really fast. They will start processing and thinking like, how will you perceive me if I react that way? But their body, it gives away it first, and then they start adjusting and masking it. So yeah, rely on the negative one, because this is the most accurate one and it comes first. So that's it for today. You can remove the slides. Yeah, next week we'll talk about deception. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can talk a long time about deception. So I think this is a good cutting off point.
Yes, well, but that one will be really short because I only had like 2 or 3 slides left for deception, which is fine. We can elaborate that topic. It's still a broad topic anyway. Yeah, but we did cover.
Plenty to say on that.
Yeah, I'm
Plenty
sure.
to say.
Yeah, we will.
And then, let's call on our audience. Put in some questions. Things you want us to talk about. Things you've observed. We'll tell some of your stories if you want.
Yeah, we could do the call in if you guys would like to call in. We don't require camera publicly on. You can have an icon if you want to, but I want to make sure that we are talking to real people. So maybe I don't know how to do it.
Do you have many non-real people listening to your streams?
I suspect a few, but I don't know. They might be watching other content as well. So yeah, the camera on is not required, guys. We will probably figure it out if you are real or not. Yeah. Yeah, these non-verbals are very interesting, and there are a lot of books on them. I did buy this one by Paul Ekman. I read it a long time ago. It used to detect, accused to deceit in the marketplace, politics, and marriage. Would be an interesting one, but we are going to take a break from nonverbal communication after we are done next week, and then gestures in other countries. The do's and taboos of body language around the world. yeah, if you are traveling somewhere, highly recommend you to spend some time learning. And then here's another one I have here. So you can see I have a lot of these books. The meaning of human gestures. Yeah. So
All right.
yeah. Oh, and then I got this one because Tacticus recommended this book. Actually, I think my husband he read it long time ago.
Okay.
Never
Never
split the
split the
difference.
difference. Yeah.
I've had to use that sometimes at work, sometimes splitting the difference in a car sale.
Uh-huh.
I've used it as a close. Not a normal one, but sometimes it works.
It works, yeah. Okay.
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll read those, but we will after next week we will take a small break. We can talk about something else. I don't want to do nonverbal anymore.
All right.
Yeah, we will talk about something else after next week.
Where are we doing? Where are we doing Wednesday? Where are we doing Wednesday, Steve?
Well, I'm working on getting a guest. I don't have confirmation, but he was going to do. Maybe he'll introduce himself. I wanted him to just comment on the stream we're doing, but I'm going to title it "The Heresy of Equality."
Another one on equality.
Because we have this unconscious belief in equality. And it seems to be kind of a essential component of a lot of Christianity. And we're going to look at some Bible passages to determine, gee, is equality in the design? Is it in God's design? So I think it's an interesting concept to challenge you to think about the issue of equality. And that means equality among men. It means equality with women. It means equality of cultures. Equality in the workforce. We can talk about affirmative action. Is that equality? Or does that promote equality? Or DEI? Does that promote equality? Or was or the elimination of discrimination to promote equality, is that a good thing? And you may say, oh, yes, all these things are. Well, there are pros and cons to every one of these things. So, and it all comes down to our view on equality. And as Americans, which basically started with the Declaration of Independence, we all go back to all men are created equal. That means equality, equality, equality. No, I don't think it does.
No.
And I'm going to explain to you what I think it means. So it'll be another, I hope it'll be a good discussion. I hope people are interested in it.
Yeah, I'll definitely tune in and watch it. I have to still rewatch the other one you did last week. I haven't finished watching that one. That was an interesting show.
Yeah, okay. If you haven't watched that one, it was 3 essential concepts for civilization.
Yeah. That's an interesting show, guys.
And it was, do I have my card here? Secular wise, it was maintenance.
Yeah.
The concept of maintenance, low time preference, and accountability. From the secular perspective. From the Christian perspective or virtues, it was stewardship, legacy, and humility. It was one of those themes or programs that I want people to think about this and reflect on it. I don't care if you agree with me.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it to the part where I joined you guys and I watched up to that part, but I want to rewatch the whole thing again, so I'll do that. Well, anyway, interesting. Was it too bad today? Was it too long?
No, you did a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Great job.
Well, I was trying to summarize, and I did cut out a lot of things, but I do recommend you to read this book, guys. This is a very
and I,
good book. Mhm.
I warned you guys in advance that she had a lot of words to use up, and she did. So that goal was accomplished. And now she can report back to her husband that she used up so many words, and he's going to be so happy about that.
Yes. He told me he will thank you for tolerating me today. Anyway, yeah, guys, I'm having trouble like shrinking things when it's like a full science, there are so many details in there. Anyway,
she's a woman.
Exactly.
She's a woman.
Yeah, everything is important,
I don't expect her to perfect this skill.
I know. No. But I did start writing shorter articles, Steve, on Substack. It's something. Do you remember? Yes. Previously they were really long? Well, sometimes I'm guilty of that, but it depends on the topic. Anyway, guys, it was great to talk to you as always. We hope to see you next week. We will continue talking about these nonverbals, and we'll focus more on deception, okay, next time. And yeah, I hope you enjoy your weekend. Remember to please like, share, and subscribe. Go subscribe to the Resurgence of Sanity YouTube channel. Let me quickly share with you our schedule. Here you go. So join us on Saturdays at 9:15 a.m. Pacific for these deep dive conversations where we occasionally have presentations. Then join me for regular workouts from Mondays to Fridays and Sundays. And on Saturdays, oh no, this is an old one, guys. Sorry. You can ignore that. Okay. Here on Wednesdays, we have at 5:45 interesting discussions on the Resurgence of Sanity YouTube channel. Please go subscribe to them. And if you want to stay fit and healthy, join me for the cross-training fitness program on Udemy. I have a lot of workouts for you on Patreon. And please subscribe to my Substack, where I occasionally write the summary of our discussions. Okay, cool. Okay, having done that, I think we are done, right, guys? Yep. Okay, take care, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Elena's Barre, the best place on the internet, the very best by far.